All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, something huge is happening at Japan's top university. I mean, a real revolution, and it could totally change the rules of the game for an entire generation. We're going to break down what this all means for the future of work, for society, all based on a really sharp analysis by Thomas Redute.
So, the whole analysis really starts with this one big question. And it's pretty provocative. This is really the heart of everything we're going to unpack today. And, this isn't just a story about Japan. Nope. It's about this massive global shift in what it actually takes to get ahead in the world. So let's dive right in at the source. Okay, so where did this all kick off? Well, it starts with a very real and honestly kind of radical plan from the University of Tokyo, Todai. And they're not just like tweaking a few courses here and there. No, they are completely redesigning the entire path for their top-tier engineering students.
This slide really lays it all out, the before and the after. On the one hand, you've got the old way, right? Training amazing researchers, all taught in Japanese. But then, look at where they're headed now. The goal is to create these globally minded tech entrepreneurs in fields like deep tech and computing. And here's the kicker. The whole thing is going to be taught in English.
And listen, you gotta understand, this is not some tiny little experiment. We are talking about 400 students a year. Just to give you a sense of scale, that's 40%, 40, of the entire engineering group getting funneled into this new English-first, business-focused track. It is a huge gamble on a totally different kind of graduate.
So what does this new global graduate even look like? What are they trying to build here? Well, the answer is kind of baked right into the way they've set up the curriculum.
And this is really the key point. It's not just a couple of classes with some English textbooks. We're talking about the entire curriculum for these super advanced, super technical subjects. All of it, delivered only in English. It's basically total immersion from the moment you walk in the door.
The career path they're imagining here is, well, it's crystal clear. First, you master these world-class tech skills, AI, computer science. Then, you mix that with some serious business know-how from a brand new MBA program that's built right into the engineering school. And the ultimate goal? To create a whole new wave of tech founders. Basically, to build Japan's very own Silicon Valley, what they're calling Hongo Valley.
But, this whole Todai reform thing isn't just happening in a bubble. To really get why they're doing this, we've got to look at this huge seismic shift that's already happening in the Japanese job market. It's created something the analysis calls the English filter.
I mean, just think about it for a second. It really wasn't that long ago that a degree from a top school was your ticket. English? You could pick that up on the job. But that world, it's gone. When you've got huge Japanese companies like Uniqlo making more money overseas than they do at home, well, the game has completely changed. Top-notch English isn't a nice-to-have anymore. It's a must-have from day one.
And this is what creates that English filter we were just talking about. It's like a brand new hurdle that gets plopped right on top of the old "which university did you go to" filter. What this means is, today, you could have a degree from the absolute best university in the country, but if you're not fluent in English, those doors to the best global jobs, they're already slamming shut in your face.
Okay, so if fluent, high-level English is the new golden ticket, we've got to ask the obvious question. Who's most likely to have it? And this is where the analysis takes a really sharp turn and dives into some pretty serious social commentary.
To really get this next part, you have to understand this popular Japanese slang term, oyagacha. It literally means parent lottery. It's this idea that your success in life isn't just about how hard you work. A huge part of it is determined by the sheer chance of which parents you were born to.
So, who is perfectly set up to succeed in this new English-only program? Well, the analysis points a finger directly at Kikokushi-jo, which are students who've lived and studied abroad. And where do they come from? You guessed it, they're almost always from high-income families. We're talking kids of corporate execs who are on overseas assignments, or families rich enough to send their kids to fancy boarding schools in the US or the UK. Long story short, that path to English fluency, it's paved with money.
And all of this leads to a pretty cynical conclusion that's cited in the source material. It's this feeling that, for a lot of people, the whole song and dance of job hunting and climbing the career ladder, it's not really about proving how good you are. It's just about confirming the advantages you got right from the start.
So, if the whole system is being set up to help the kids who won the parent lottery, what does that mean for everyone else? For the smart, really hard-working student who comes from a regular public school background.
To explain this situation, the author uses another slang term, but this one comes from gaming culture, 무리개. It means impossible game. It's that feeling you get when a game is just so ridiculously hard, the odds so stacked against you that you feel like there's just no way to win no matter what you do.
And the analysis basically suggests that this is becoming the new reality. For your average student, even if they're brilliant and go to a top university, trying to break into that top level of global companies, it's starting to feel like a 무리개, an impossible game where the deck was stacked against you before you even started playing.
So look, the University of Tokyo's big plan is supposed to create this new generation of world-class innovators. But as this analysis really points out, it might also accidentally be making the lines between social classes even sharper. I think the big takeaway here is how a single policy at one university can suddenly pull back the curtain on the hidden rules of success in our world today. And it leaves us with a really tough question. As we move into the future, is success becoming more about skill, or is it just a game of chance?